Hey, wait a minute, you cheated!
Hey everybody, so it's just the Game Guy, and welcome back to Mega Man. We're now taking the fight to Dr. Wily. And it's gonna be quite the gauntlet. Ladies and gentlemen, the staple of the Mega Man series, the Wily Castle. And this is one of the harder ones. What a start. What a start. We start off in Wily 1, and I recommend to use your Ice Slasher. Ice Slasher is an ability that I have not discussed yet. It has the ability to freeze enemies, even in midair. It's a great way to dodge these guys, and there's exactly 3 of them. If you remember what I said when we first mentioned them, back in, I think it was episode 1 we had to deal with them, they deal 1/3 of your health. And they jump in a random pattern. If you're lucky enough, you might be able to get through them pretty easily. Otherwise, well, here's the thing. The jumping pattern can be a bit random, so you might get to a point where as soon as he jumps and you use that Ice Slasher to freeze him, you can go under him and he'll spawn right back at his spawn point because you're too far left, because this is how Mega Man spawning rules. And I hate that! Now this part here is incredibly annoying. As you can see here, the Ice Slasher can freeze these pillars of fire. But you have to do it in just the right location so Mega Man can get through. The hardest one is definitely the second one because you can actually shoot through walls, which causes the Ice Slasher to get the first one easily. And the third one is highly inconsequential anyway. The second one is the one that's going to give you the most trouble. And I needed the help. Pro tip! Going up this ladder, you want to equip the Thunder Beam. There will be enemies that will be coming at you from above, and they go through the ladder. You don't. It's highly recommended you do this, or else you're going to take damage, most likely. You also want to use the Thunder Beam in order to make your way up here, as you can't switch weapons whenever the Magnet Beam is out in order to get a platform up. The only way to destroy those Guts blocks is indeed with the Thunder Beam. And the Magnet Beam is just ridiculously horrible in small sections like that. And sadly, that's the last challenge you have to overcome, so don't waste it all. It's ridiculous. I hate these enemies. They bounce around too much and they can kind of get in the way. It's ridiculous. Why? 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 Whatever, it's not my problem. I'm going to do just fine. Here's the enemy spawner again. I didn't glitch it out this time. I still don't know why. I don't know how I glitched out the penguin spawner in Iceman stage still. That still baffles me. Now, I know in Iceman stage I did it legit, but I'm not doing legit here. Because a couple reasons. 1, spikes above. Jump too high, you will die. 2, same problem as Iceman, they can knock you into the spike pits below. And the spikes are insta-kill even through invincibility frames. That's the main issue with them in this game. Ouch. Plus, you might have to grind some Magnet Beam if you use the Magnet Beam strat, because this is the only spot where it's required. This is why you don't do it like Man First, people. Right just up here is the boss fight. And, well, it's a long story with this guy. Trust me. That was me cutting to an alternate playthrough where I actually went back after I beat the game in order to retry the boss that I had more lives. And everyone, meet the recurring enemy who's had his appearance and his brothers, I guess. The Yellow Devil. He is a pain in this game, as his segments move so fast it's almost impossible to dodge without getting hit. If you can beat this boss without using a task program without getting hit, congratulations, you're a Mega Man god, because I have a feeling this is nearly impossible. But there is something you need to know about this boss that will probably make your life a whole lot easier. Well, a couple of things. 1, his pattern from the transitions when he's moving his segments over one by one is always the exact same. So if you can memorize the order, you can effectively dodge it. Of course, you might still have problems with near frame perfect inputs because of the way these blocks move, but what are you gonna do? And, well, there's only enough time for Yellow Devil to be hit once at his weak spot. Pro tip, use the weakness. Thunder Beam does more damage against him than any other weapon. If you don't want to be here for an eternity, constantly dodging, it's your best bet. Not to mention, those segments do the same amount of damage that you do to it with the Thunder Beam, so you have to be careful. Of course, since I don't want to play Wily 1 again, we're gonna do the cheapo way. Mega Man 1 is a strange control thing where you can press select to pause the game at any time. And as a result, a little bug was formed. Everyone has probably heard of it. Meet the pause glitch. By pausing the game after an enemy has taken damage, the invincibility frame timer will continue, causing it to be vulnerable upon unpausing. By pausing and unpausing again, you can actually pretty much eat through the boss's health. It's the only true way to beat Yellow Devil's true invincibility frameness that he has in between phases. But luckily, the pause trick will do quick work of it. Anyway, as we move on to Wily 2, here comes a jerk move. That was on purpose. That game over actually helped you in the long run. It won't be the only game over though. I believe I do game over at least a couple more times in the final stage. That might be from past recordings or whatever, I don't remember. It might be from the original playthrough I did of this game when I actually went in the weakness order. I don't know. But it actually kind of helps to get a game over between Wily stages, because your lives get restocked back up to 2, and your weapon energy is entirely refilled. Also, Boss Rush, sort of. The Boss Rush acts differently in this game than it does in any other Mega Man game. It's split between stages in a certain order. You can't pick and choose like you can with Boss Rush rooms, like you can starting with 2. Not too bad though. And the second one's definitely more difficult than the first, even though you have to fight an Elecman. As I was saying, all my weapon energy has been refilled. It's definitely useful to get a game over between Wily stages, as all your weapon energy will be refilled. I still can't talk, and it'll have you actualize set back to 2, which should be enough to get through a while again. Well, out of the stage anyway. You might have a little bit of trouble considering the fact that stuff like this exists. Elecman! And there's no block to dodge his Thunder Beam. So you just kinda have to get lucky. Kinda like with Woodman in Mega Man 2, we'll get to him later. If you take damage from contact instead of the weapon, you will take less damage. Kinda like if you take damage from the falling leaves instead of the leaf shield, you'll take less damage. It's strange, but it works. So there. Be happy. Because, you kinda need that. I'm also getting this extra life that probably won't even help much. Because, well, the boss coming up is probably about as mean as the Yellow Devil, and I'm gonna have another cut to a future playthrough, or a past playthrough. Well, it's a future playthrough, but I had a lot of past experience, because, I needed a lot of trial and error in order to actually get it right. Because, just like a Yellow Devil, he's kind of mean, but not in the whole memorization type way. Instead, yeah, you have to... It's a long story, but it's just a big pain. It won't take as long as Yellow Devil, but you have to be really careful because, well, let's just say he's a little bit overpowered. Let's just say that much. Ladies and gentlemen, as we go down this ladder, Dr. Wily is cloning us. Meet the copy robot. Now what you're supposed to do against Copy Robot is fight him one-on-one. And as you may be noticing, he does twice as much damage to you as you do to him, with the same weapon. This is why it gets a little tedious, especially with using Thunder Beam. So, not exactly the most recommended to do legit, but it's definitely possible and a lot quicker. I tried doing it legit for this playthrough, but with such little health, it's impossible. You love how the sound glitched out there? That was kind of the That's some weird occurrence. I don't know what caused that. But, yeah. After realizing that's not gonna happen anytime soon, I eventually did the coward's way out and just used the pause trick again. Always use the Thunder Beam with the pause trick. The Thunder Beam has a larger hitbox than any other weapon, and it can go through enemies. So, you can actually make it extremely easy to hit robots, well, just because of the sheer size. He will have the Thunder Beam equipped, so if you do mess up the pause trick, he's going to deal quite a bit of possibly undodgeable damage. Also, he has the same animation set as you, so those sparks that come out of his head won't disappear until you're on pause for a long amount of time, so they can just stack, and stack, and stack. And as you can see, Sprite Flicker, welcome to NES games, along with pretty much the majority of the NES Mega Man games. This won't stop until around, I'd say 5, because I actually am recording 4 right now, and 4 has some screen flickering issues. But with that, as we make Mega Man invisible due to the power of invisibility frames, we head on to Wily 3. I'm going to complete it in the next episode, but I wanted to show you what happened in between episodes, because the way is I record 2 stages per episode. So I spawn into Wily 3, and you spawn right under an enemy. So move! See you guys in the finale of Mega Man 1.